Hey there, drone fans. I am really fired up today to talk about a brand new drone that's just about to be released by HoverAir. It's called the Versa. Now, if you haven't seen anything about this drone yet, you're going to be blown away. And I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to call it brilliant for a lot of reasons that I'll explain in a minute. Now, just to give you a little bit of history of HoverAir, they've been around for a long time. They started in around 2015. They released their first product as the Passport, which was kind of a gigantic version of this. It folded in half, and it was really the first drone that was marketed more as a flying camera than a drone because it had limited range, but the whole design behind it was to build some intelligence into the product that would allow it to fly autonomously. You could put it up in the air and it would capture some footage of you walking through the woods or maybe circle you to take some beautiful vacation photos, but it was an automatic flight-based drone that you really didn't need a controller for, which made it simple. So a lot of people liked it, but it was big. Then they evolved to this. Now again, that was groundbreaking. That was a revolution because nobody had built anything like it. This is an evolution. So that's the X1. That came out about 6 years later, and it's a smaller version of it, and it's a great little drone. I use this thing pretty much every time I leave the house because it folds up so small. I can throw it in my backpack, take it with me, and on those occasions where I just need to get a shot or some B-roll, I can put it up in the air, capture the footage I need, fold it up, put it back in the bag. And I have to tell you, this drone is probably the most shocking reaction I get from most people, because when I take this out of my bag and I open it up, jaws drop. They just can't understand what I've got in my hand here. And when I explain it's a flying camera that's smart enough to keep track of me and capture beautiful footage, they just can't believe it. So I can't tell you how many of these I probably helped sell by showing them how it works. Well, they didn't stop there. They moved on to a better version of it, which is the X1 Pro Max. And this has advanced features that the X1 doesn't have. It's got crash avoidance in it, better imaging technology, and a bunch of other cool features. So when I'm talking about the Passport to this one, and this one to this one, those are evolutionary steps, right? The revolution was in designing that original Passport, which nobody had done up to that point, and they've evolved it to the X1, evolved it again to the X1 Pro Max. So that's pretty cool. That's cool enough on its own to have a drone that folds that I can take on vacation. They didn't stop there. They actually came out with a two-prop drone. Now, when I first saw that original Vcopter at CES, gosh, I got to think that was 6 or 7 years ago, it wasn't really flying. It was sort of a demo unit sitting on a desk, and a bunch of us looked at it, a bunch of drone pilots looked at it and said, man, you're in over your head here. Somebody designing a drone that can fly with two propellers, just the amount of stability control that's needed on a drone like that is generations ahead of where we think we are. Well, lo and behold, it came out with the Vcopter, and it flew really well, and it flew different than other copters out there, other drones out there, because those two props gave it sort of a very smooth move up in the air. So that was pretty cool. I flew that, I reviewed it, I thought it was a great drone. Then they came out with the Vcopter Mini. So this is a tiny version of it. It's almost like they took the Vcopter, stuck it in a microwave oven, and shrunk it down to this size. And this little guy flies like a dream. I've had this out so often, out there flying in the fields. And the footage it captures, because it's got a stabilized gimbal, is buttery smooth footage, but it has a different flight characteristic, the way it actually handles moving around in the air. So the reason I'm showing you all this is because HoverAir isn't a company that just looks at what's in the market and says, you know what, we can build it smaller or cheaper or a different color. Like, they're not looking to just modify stuff that's out there. They're groundbreakers. The Passport, revolutionary product. No one built anything like that Passport when it came out, and then the evolution took place through the models. The Vcopter, revolutionary product. A lot of companies have tried to build a two-prop drone and have failed miserably because the drone is not stable in the air, runs off, hits a tree. They built it and they sold it and it flew. Then they came out with a mini version of it. So that was the revolution, the Vcopter. This is an evolution. Well, this Versa product, I don't know how these guys missed it. Now, I will say I love DJI products. I think they're one of the leading innovation companies in both the drone and imaging space. I talk about it an awful lot. I gush about them a lot because I'm an engineer and I'm a fan of companies that take a look at a blank sheet of paper and say, we want to get into the market with something innovative. They built the Phantom 4. It was really the first ready-to-fly drone, which had an integrated camera and a stabilized gimbal, controller. I mean, the whole kit. You take it out of the box, you charge it, put it up in the air, and I flew that a long time as my primary drone. I still fly it on occasion. But their evolution, or I should say their revolution, was moving from a fixed airframe to a foldable airframe. And when this Mavic Pro came out, my mind was blown because I felt like, okay, this took a suitcase to take with me on vacation. This fits in my bag almost like one of my sneakers. I just couldn't believe they could shrink it down and build it into a foldable frame. And guess what happened? Everybody copied this. Some of them copied this too, but most of them copied this. And today we have folding drones all over the place based on the original Mavic Pro. So this was a revolution from here to here. Actually, big revolution to a folding drone, and they've made different versions of that. They make smaller versions of it, they make more sophisticated versions, but it's kind of stagnated right there. But then they came out with stabilized gimbals you can hold in your hand. So the Pocket was another revolutionary product. This replaces my DSLR. It takes beautiful 4K footage out in the field. It's stabilized. I can take beautiful pictures with it. I can do selfies. It'll track me. Again, an amazing product. Now here's where Versa gets interesting. So they've got a product like the X1 Pro Max. And when you look at this, most of this is propeller, right? These two side are propellers. The battery pops out of the unit. When I pull the battery out of it, there's not a lot of space left inside the unit. So really it's this center part that's the candy bar that actually has the electronics in it. Camera on the front, stabilized gimbal on the front. But if I look at this, forget the propellers for a second. My gosh, boy, that looks pretty similar, doesn't it? I mean, this should almost be intuitive. I didn't think of it. Those guys over at HoverAir did. They took the Pocket-like form factor, a 3-axis stabilized gimbal, and snapped it onto the flying part of what the Hover can do today. So essentially what the Versa does is it takes a Pocket-like product where you've got a handheld stabilized gimbal that can record 4K footage up to 60 frames per second, and they've got a flying cage that has flight characteristics. It's got a flight controller inside of it. The battery's in the camera. There's no battery in the frame, and this snaps onto the frame. There are pogo pins on the frame. You slide down a little cover, snap it onto the frame, open the wings, and fly it. Now think about that for a second, because when I go on vacation, and I'm heading to Europe in a couple of weeks on vacation with my wife, what am I going to bring along? I'm going to bring a Neo 2, because I want to fly a drone, and I'm going to bring the Pocket. Now I've got two products. With the Versa, that's one product. I can snap the camera off, I can record, I can snap the camera on, I can fly and capture all the footage I need. Now again, it isn't a drone, right? A lot of people out there are going to be like, well, it doesn't fly very far and I have a good controller for it. It's not designed for that. It's designed for the selfie market where you're on vacation, you want to get a quick photo, get it up in 15 seconds, take the photo, have it come back and land in your hand, and you've got everything you need. If you want to fly far, you got to go with something like the Mavic, maybe Mavic 3 or Air 3S or maybe the Mini 5 Pro. Those are real drones. I'm not saying this isn't a real drone. It's drone-like, it's got drone characteristics, but it's really designed to be a flying camera, which is the way HoverAir has marketed it from the beginning. Now, one other thing I'll say about this company, because I'm so impressed by companies that come out of nowhere, develop products like this, revolutionary products like this, and then don't sit on their laurels. Hey, here's another revolutionary product. Hey, we're going to build this Versa. That's another revolutionary product. So the company doesn't really market itself as a high-tech engineering company. They market themselves, and I believe them, that they're trying to build technology that becomes invisible in the consumer's hand, because people flying drones like us, we get it, right? There's a lot of work involved with that. You got to get a lot of practice in to fly a drone. You've got to understand the technology to a certain extent. You got to understand the rules. There are people that want to get pictures from the air, that want to get that perfect photo when they're on vacation with their family, that don't want to deal with this. They don't want to have a controller and, oh my gosh, I got to get regulations and everything else. They want a drone like this that they can put up, have that camera fly around, not think about it a whole lot. And that's what these products do. So this Versa has the features that the Pro 1 Max or X1 Pro Max has, and it's got the handheld gimbal stabilization built in. So you're getting two products in one. Now the interesting thing, and I'll give you some specs here, is they didn't cheat. Like they could have made it, it's a cool product, they could have made it less than impressive from a specification perspective. They didn't. So the Versa has got a 1/1.3 inch sensor, which records 4K footage up to 60 frames per second. It'll fly for 14 minutes on a full charge, and the battery's removable in the handheld portion of it. You can record for up to 3 hours on that battery. Now, to me, that gives you everything you need. Here's the most impressive part. It's got 17 stops, wait a minute, 17.5 stops of dynamic range. So you can adjust for low light conditions, bright conditions. It does that automatically. And then they up their game with their AI, because everybody's putting AI in everything nowadays. Most of the AI that's on the market, and I study all of it, is bells and whistles, kind of parlor tricks kind of stuff, where you impress your friends because you put Abraham Lincoln in a picture at your last birthday party. That's a waste of time for AI. What they're using AI for is filming. So they've got one feature that does auto framing. So the drone will go up in the air, it'll see what it needs to focus on, and the drone through AI will decide what's the best framing, what's the best zoom perspective, should I center them, is there more than one person in the picture, and it takes that perfect picture for you. The other feature that blew me away was a 3D representation. Like we have 360-degree drones, we have cameras that you can walk around and do 360 imaging. What this new Versa will do is it'll do the standard automated 360 flight pattern around you, but it's collecting images from that entire flight. It'll process those up in the cloud, and then you can go into that and you can move your position behind the couch if you're sitting on a couch, or above you looking down, or on the ground looking up. So they're really not just innovating in a hardware perspective, but they're thinking about how a consumer like myself would use that product, making it easy, making it innovative, and really building an incredibly cool product. Oh, I forgot one more. There was an iteration after this called the Aqua, which was a water-based drone. No one built a water-based drone. There's companies that make those, but they're regular drones. They built a selfie camera drone that could land in the water, take off from the water. It was completely waterproof, so it's great for people that are skiing or they're surfing or they're out on a boat. So again, I know I'm gushing here, but you have to understand the engineering challenge behind just building something like this, then evolving it to this, or starting with something like this or the bigger one and building that. And now what they've done is they figured out I can build a combination product that has a drone chassis and a handheld gimbal, snap them together, and I've got a flying camera. Unsnap them, and I've got a walk-around camera that I can take on vacation. So for me, I'm excited about this product. I cannot wait to get my hands on it. Now here's the bad news. We have this brilliant FCC in the United States that has somehow decided that drones in general are a danger to the country. Oh, it's dangerous. China's spying on us through these drones. Pure nonsense. And I've done several clips on this in the channel explaining why. That's a whole lot of malarkey. And you can go back and review those clips. But the reason I'm mentioning that is because that Aqua product never got FCC approval for the States based on their fear of China. I'm not sure this Versa is going to get approval. And that's going to really bum me out, because I think this is a brand new type of product that is innovating in the space. And from my perspective, if you're worried about something, how can a 250 gram drone cause anybody any issues? I've been goofy enough where I've had this come in and bang me in the head. You don't even feel it. I mean, it's lightweight, it's small, it's taking good photos. So I just don't understand the logic behind the FCC regulations that prohibit drones from China from coming into the States. But that's my worry about the Versa. I'm not sure if we're going to see it in the States, but I'll stay on top of it. I'm watching the development. I'm hoping to talk more with HoverAir about it. I know they're going to be interested in getting some out in testers' hands. I'd love to be one of the testers, since I've tested every product they've got, and I'll give an honest opinion of it. But more importantly, I want you to champion companies like HoverAir, DJI, Insta360, other companies that are trying to support the hobby, building products that are innovative, building products that we're going to be able to use and capture some beautiful aerial footage. You need to stand behind a company like this and support them when you can, and that's why I put this clip together. So I haven't seen it, I haven't touched it, I haven't smelled it, I haven't flown it, but I'm dying to get my hands on it so I can do a full review of it. But for now, just appreciate the innovation, because they're the first. They're the first that did this. It's revolutionary. I think it's going to be copied by other companies, and I think they're going to mature that product through an evolutionary product where it gets better and better over time. But right now, it's the first of its kind. It's a brand new species of drone, and they've got claim to that. So HoverAir, good on you guys for this Versa product. Incredibly innovative. And that's all I really had for today. So drop your comments below. I want to hear what your thoughts are on it. I like their products an awful lot for a very specific situation. I don't know if you like them or you don't like them, but please leave some comments below so I have a feel for where we're at with this. And that's pretty much it for today. So hopefully you found this brief tutorial or this brief overview helpful. I like talking about new tech, and I'm going to continue to do that. So thanks an awful lot for watching. I hope you're getting plenty of airtime this summer, because boy, it's been beautiful weather. I've had my drone out pretty much every day. It hasn't been raining, and I'm just loving it. So thanks again for watching. Until next time, as always, happy flying.